We have complete the profit center counting. Now the next topic we have in the SAP CO, it is the internal order accounting. So what do you mean by this internal order? Like your cost center, it is again a CO object. So the way we collect the cost through the cost center, same way we will be collecting the cost to the internal order. Difference between the cost center and internal order is known as temporary cost center. Why we call it as temporary cost center? Because here we will not be keeping the cost for the permanent purpose. We will not be storing the cost for the permanent basis. So what we will be doing? So here we will be placing the cost for some time, and after that we will be doing the settlement. So that settlement we have not seen in the cost center. Why? Because in the cost center we keep the cost for the permanent basis. Here we will be keeping the cost for the temporary basis, and when the purpose will be fulfilled, so when after that we are going to settle the cost. And when we are saying that the cost will get settled, what does it mean? It means that the cost will be transferred from your internal order to some other CO object. Now that some other CO object could be your cost center, it could be your WPS element, it could be your any other cost object. So here we are going to see how the cost will be settled from your internal order to cost center. So in which scenario we are using this internal order accounting and we create the internal order. So for example, we are organizing a meeting or we are organizing a event, and in that event employees from the different department will take the part in, and obviously, on that event, a company is going to incur the expense. So, at the start of the event, when we are not sure that how many employees will be coming from how many departments, or from which department the employees will come. So, what we'll be doing, we will be creating a placeholder, and that placeholder will be creating to collect the cost, and that is known as internal order. So whatever the expenses the company is incurring on that event, on that meeting, on that get together, so that traveling expense, that recreational expense, or that expense on the food, on the hotel. So all these expenses, company is going to book under the internal order. And once that event has happened and we have come to know that okay, these many employees have participated in this event, these employees belong to these many departments. So what management will do? So we will be assigning the cost to those department. We will be assigning the cost to those employees, and that assignment of cost is known as settlement of your internal order, where your internal order will become zero. So whatever the cost you have booked under that internal order, that will become zero, and that cost we are going to transfer to the respective CO object or to the respective department. So that is the example we have in this internal order. And for this, it is saying that when we are talking about the internal order, so there are two types of internal order we have. There are two types of internal order. So first is the statistical internal order, and second is your real order, real internal order. What's the difference between the statistical internal order and real order? Statistical internal order will be using only for the reporting purpose. No settlement is allowed under the statistical internal order. On the other hand, the real order, from the name, it is clear that it is a real internal order under which we can do the settlement. So we'll see the example for both of these two internal order. We'll be getting the statistical as well as the real order. And when we are going to create the internal order, so what we need to do, we need to define the order type. SAP has provided us a standard order type. We can create our own order type. In order to create the order type, we have the step number one, transaction code. We can run it is KOT2. Let's go into the system, create the order type. Transaction code is KOT2. enter, click on the new entry button. You can just see these are the existing internal order types we have, and we can click on the new entry button. When you are going to define your order type, system is going to ask for the order category. So we'll be maintaining here the order category. You can just see here 1111. So this is the CO internal order. We'll be maintaining here the order category as 01 internal order CO, and then press enter button. And then we need to give the ID for the order type. So let's have here the ID as it is ST44. This is what statistical internal order for 2244. And then here we can just see the object class. We can give the object class as overhead. And after that, you can just see here the status management. So there are two things. One, if you have created the internal order, you need to manually release it. And second is, if you select this checkbox, release immediately in the order type. Now, in this order type, whatever the internal orders you will be creating. So in that internal orders, automatically system would have release release the internal order. So the internal order has the status. So by default, if you select this checkbox, by default, the status would be released. Otherwise, it will show you the status as created, and under the status created, you will not be able to settle the cost. So this status should be released. So what we want whatever the internal orders we will be getting under this order type, all should have the status as release. Where that status we can see, I'll also show you. Then after that, we need to click on the save option. System will ask that the number range you have not maintained. So let's maintain the number range. Press enter button and you click on this number range interval button. Click on this change option. And here we have our statistical order type. It is Control F. It is ST44. And this statistical order type, I want to link. Click on this assign element group. I want to link to any of following number ranges. Any one we can select. So I'm going to select this number range. It is 06. And as per the 06, whatever the internal orders will be creating, so system is going to give you the number between 200,000 to 2999. So let it be the number range as 06, save, and then we can go back. So we can just see here system has started showing you the number interval here. Now we can save and then we can go back. Now in this statistical order type, we need to create the internal order. And for the creation of internal order, it is saying that we need to use a transaction code, but while doing the FI posting, so we want the system to ask for the internal order. To ask for the internal order, and that should be the mandatory field. So what we can do in this case, so we can go to the field status group. Let's go to the field status group with the help of transaction code OBC4. We are using the field status group ID. It is field status variant ID. It is 2244. Go to the group, and in this group, by taking a reference of this G004, we'll be creating a new one. ID will be giving for that new one. It is 2. And this we will be using for what? This will be using for the cost center and internal order accounting. Enter. You can just also remove this accounting. Just keep it as cost center and internal order. Save. And in this, what rule we want to have? So you double click on this and you double click on the account assignment. Here, we want to maintain the internal order where we have here. It is CO order. Okay. So this CO order we want to maintain as a required entry. This CO order we want to maintain a required entry, and cost center will remain a option entry. Now I'm going to save it. Click on the save option. Then what next we have? It is saying that let's create one cost element which would be relevant for this CO posting, for this internal order posting. And for this cost element, we need to go to the FI. We can create the GL. Let's have here the GL number 40325. And then we can click on the company code ID is 2244. Click on the new entry button. Account group is going to be expense, and we can also take the reference. Let's have here FS00. GL, I'm going to take it 400,325. And by taking a reference of 400, 300 in the same company code. So this is what this is travel or traveling expense, traveling expense account. Then we can go to the field status group. And here we have the field status group G04. We will replace with G02, which we have created. Now save it. And after that, what next we need to do? It is saying that now you can create your internal order master data. But before this, we need to also, like, this is the FIGL. For this, we need to also have the corresponding cost element in the CO. For this, we need to go to the edit cost element, and the validity we can have it from 1900 to 999 years. Enter category, we need to select as 01 expense, save, save. Then it is saying that let's create the internal order master data. So let's have here the internal order master data. Transaction code is KO01. So when you are creating the internal order master data, system will ask for the internal order type. So internal order type we have already maintained as ST44. ST44 under the controlling area, 2244, press enter button. This is what statistical internal order for the company code 2244. Then if you are using the business area, function area, profit center, so profit center, let it be 4401. This we can assign. And after that, we can go to the control data. Go to the control data. Now you can just see here the status is coming as REL. REL means release. Internal order type. We have we have selected that checkbox that all the internal order master data should have this status. That is the reason it is coming as REL. Otherwise, we can also have the status as a CRTD. It means created. And if it is created, then manually we need to click on the release and then save it, and then the status will become a release. So since it is a statistical order, we can select this checkbox statistical order and then we can save it. Click on the save option. Click on the save option. Now you can just see your order ID number is 200,020. This is the internal order number we have received. And this is what? This is your statistical internal order. And if you try to post the entry in the statistical internal order through the normal FI posting FI02, F-02, sorry. And then we have the date as today's date. Document type SA company code. Then we have the currency. Here we will be using the cost element relevant for the cost center internal order posting. It is 400,325. This we have waited today only. And let's have here any amount. It is 55,000. And here we need to give the order number, internal order. You can just see cost center is coming as well as internal order is coming. These can also be used as a CO object like WPS element network. Now here we want to use this. You can just see the cost center is coming as mandatory, okay? Because this is how we have maintained the field status. So press F4 key. And for the controlling area 2244, how many internal orders we have? Single one. This is the statistical order we have. After that, we need to give here the text. Let's have the text as travel expense. And then we can credit the offset account, cash account, and then press enter button. Now you will notice here one thing that it is saying that this cost element or this account number 40325, it requires a CO object. But we have already entered here CO object, which is the internal order. Then why system is asking for other CO object? Because the reason is this is the statistical internal order. This is not a real order. That is the reason system is asking for a permanent CO object. So for the permanent CO object, we need to maintain here the we need to make a use of cost center. And in this cost center, we can assign this cost and we can assign this cost to any of our existing cost center. Let it be the cost center. It is 440101. And after that, this error will be fixed. So press enter button and then we can give the same amount on the other side, text as plus, and then enter. So we have this 55,000 and now let's do the posting. System has given you this document number. You can go to the menu document display. It will show you in the line item and this cost has been booked under the cost center this and internal order is your statistical internal order. Now for the statistical order you want to do the reporting analysis. So let's have here the planned value. This is the actual value we have entered. In order to enter the planned value, we can use transaction code KPF6. This is the step number 6 we are doing planning internal order wise. So let's have here the transaction code KPF6. And for this, we need to give the version as 0, which is going to give you the variance for your planned and actual value. Period we'll be using from 1 to 12. Year is 2023. Internal order system has taken automatically 200,020 and cost element is 40325. Now we can click on this button form based and then we can click on this overview screen. Click on the overview screen. Here we need to enter a planned cost. Let it be the planned cost as 50,000. 50,000. Press enter button, save. So this is the planned value we have entered. We also have the actual value for the internal order. Now what we need to do? We need to see the variance. In order to see the variance, we can use the next transaction code S underscore ALR underscore 870129993. So I'm going to use this transaction code, enter. Here by default system has maintained all the data. So we have here the controlling area fiscal year period from 1 to 12 version 0. Now we can click on the execute button. Click on the execute button. So you can just see here cost element wise we have the variance between the actual and planned. So variance is 5,000 which is 10% from the planned value, more from the planned value. And if you want to see statistical order wise, you can go on the left side, double click on the relevant statistical order. Since we have the single one, so we can double click on this and you can just see this is the variance we have for the statistical order. Planned value 50 actually is 55 and variance is 5,000 which is 10% more than the cost, more than the planned cost. So this is how we can make a use of the statistical internal order. Now go to the next type of internal order which is a real internal order. And for this real internal order, we need to do the settlement. And for the settlement, we need two things. One, allocation structure, and second, your settlement profile. Allocation structure, settlement profile. So what do you mean with the allocation structure? I'll just show you in the system and it will give you more clarity. So we have here the transaction code. It is OPKT. Transaction code is OPKT through which system you will be able to navigate for the settlement profile as well as you can also go to the allocation structure. So let's first see the settlement profile. Enter. Keep the radio button on the settlement profile. And we can just see here we have these many settlement profile. We can create our own settlement profile also. So let's see any of the existing settlement profile we have. It is, let's say, internal order is 20. Double click on this. And you can just see we need to give the ID description. After that, we need to give in this settlement profile what type of information we give. So we are saying that this cost or this cost of sale, we want to do the settlement full or it will not be settled and then it can be settled but not full. So these are the three options we have. After that, we have the allocation structure. So that is the next object we'll be discussing. But the reference of that allocation structure we will be giving under the settlement profile. Then after that, you can just see the indicator. So how you want that cost to be settled. If you want this settlement to be done in percentage, in numbers. So amount wise also settlement can be done. Then on your right side, you will have your valid receiver. So who is going to receive the cost? You can just see 1111. So these are optional. Then if you don't require these valid receiver, you can select the option as settlement not allowed for this GL or for this fixed asset. Okay. But if you want to maintain for some of the receiver, this cost should be received and it should be mandatory. So you can also select the option as mandatory. Here you can just see option number 2, we can select settlement required. We'll also see that. Then after that, under the other parameter, under which document type you want the settlement document to be posted. So by default, we can have here SA and up to how many line item? Up to how many line item we can do the settlement. Okay. So if you enter here 10, then system will give you 10 line item up to that many 10 line item you will be able to do the settlement. Then validity residence time is 3 months for this internal order profile to do the settlement. We'll come out of here and we can go to the next object called allocation structure. So let's see the allocation structure. This is the settlement profile we have seen. Okay. Now go to the allocation structure. And once again, the reference of this allocation structure you will be giving under your settlement profile. So now I'm going to the allocation structure. So here we can have any of the allocation structure ID with the 2 character alphanumeric. And let's have here this allocation structure we are using A1. Okay. A1 is the example. We can go on the left side. We have the assignment. So under the assignment, we need to create a like any assignment ID. Let it be the assignment ID. We have personal cost. So here normally we should have the green indicator. Okay, but here it is showing the red indicator. It means something is missing. No problem. We can go to the source. So you select your assignment, go to the source, and for the source you should give the range for your cost element. So from where system should pick the cost, from which cost element or from which set of cost element or from which cost element group system should receive the cost. So that is the information we can enter here, and to which cost element or to which CO object you want this cost to be settled. So you will be giving the reference of that receiver category. So receiver category we can enter as cost center or some other C object. You can just say these many objects are there, so you can assign the cost to any one C object. Okay. Then after that we can come out of here and we'll be creating our own settlement profile and our own allocation structure. In order to create our own settlement profile, we can go to the first allocation structure. We'll create first allocation structure. Click on the enter button, new entry button, and allocation structure ID I'm giving here 44, and this is what internal order to cost center. So we want to settle the cost from internal order to cost center, enter, and then we can save. Click on the save option, press enter button. We need to we need to like select this 44 allocation structure ID. Go to the assignment left side, double click on the assignment and click on the new entry button. Here we need to give the assignment ID as 0001, 0002, 0003, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. So sorry, 001, 00, because here we can maintain it up to the 3 digits. So the length is up to the 3 digits. So we can have it as 001, 002, 003, 004, and so on and so forth. So here we are giving the assignment ID 001, and this is what? This is the internal order to cost center settlement. Press enter button, system will give you the yellow signal. It means the information is incomplete. You select your assignment, go to the source, and in the source, you can give the information for your cost element. Let it be 400,325, and then you go to the last folder settlement cost element, double click on this, click on the new entry button, and here you need to select the receiver category as cost center. And for the cost center, we can use the receiver category ID as CTR. CTR we can use for the cost center. And after that, we need to select this checkbox by cost element. So if you want your receiver cost element to be a primary cost element, in that case, you can select this by cost element. If you don't want your receiver cost element should be your primary cost element, it should be a receiver cost element. In that case, you can remove this checkbox, and here you need to enter the statistical your secondary cost element. So here we want the cost should be received by a primary cost element, and we can save. Click on the save option. We can go back. Go back. Here we have the text. So let's change the ID for the allocation structure. Let's have the ID as internal. This is what allocation structure for double to double four. Enter save, and then we can go back. Go back. So we have maintained the allocation structure. Now let's create the settlement profile. Enter. Click on the new entry button. And for the settlement profile, we can maintain the ID up to the 6 character goodwill numeric. Let it be double. It is SP. SP stands for settlement profile. Double to double four. Or let it be double to double four SP. And this is what settlement profile for double to double four. And then you can just see system is asking for the allocation structure ID, and allocation structure ID we can maintain as double four. And then we can maintain here default cost object. Default object type as CTR. We want to assign it to the CTR per center. Let it be CTR. Then after that, we need to select these three checkboxes. So settlement can be done according to percentage, numbers, amount, and on the right side under the valid receiver, we can select the cost center as required, option number 2, and other cost object like the WBS element as optional. Then network we want to maintain as optional, profitability segment optional, sale order optional. So these many we want to maintain as optional. Then we have the document type as SA. So through this settlement, whatever the document system is going to generate, so that should have the document type as SA. Then the maximum number of line item we want to have, maximum limit is 999 and validity is 3 months. Press enter button, save. So we have maintained the settlement profile allocation structure now, where we will be giving the reference of the settlement file in your internal order type. So once again, you create your internal order type with the help of the transaction code COT2. Click on the new entry button, give the order category. Once again, it is 01, CO internal order, and then enter. We need to give the ID for the order type. It is this time RO. RO means real, it is a real order. And we have the last 2 digits, 2 character as 44. So this is what real order type for double to double four. And once again, object class we can select as cost overhead and select this checkbox release immediately, save, enter. System is asking for the number range interval. Click on the number range interval, and once again control F, find out your internal order type. It is RO double four. So this is the order type we have. Keep the cursor on the order type RO double four and click on this button, assign element group. And from the list, once again, we can select here this number in 06 for the real order number. Save it, you go back, System should give you the number range here, and then we can go back. So we have created the order type. Now under this order type, we need to create the real order. So just double click on this. And here also, I would just forgot to mention, we will be assigning the settlement profile. So this is where we'll be assigning the settlement profile. In our case, settlement profile ID is 2244SP. So this we are going to assign here, and whatever the, just click on the same option. So whatever the settlement profile or the information you will mention here, that will become default for all the internal orders you will be creating under this order type. Under this order type, so by default, system is going to give you the settlement profile as 2244SP for all your internal orders, which you will be creating under this order type. So now I'm going to save it. We can go back, and now we'll be creating the internal order. So here we'll be creating the master data for the real internal order. Transaction code we can use. It is KO01. Transaction code is KO01. If I just show you the practice sheet. So you can just see the order type KOT2. Then we have here some CO steps we need to follow. It is saying that this number range we can also maintain after this creating the master data. So here let's create the internal auto master data. KO01, system is going to ask you for the controlling area ID, order type ID. In this case, we'll be selecting the order type ID as RO44. Press enter button. We can give the description as real order for 2244. And here we can select the profit center ID. It is let it be 4402 underscore PCTR. And then you click on this control data. Since it is not a statistical order, so you will not be selecting the checkbox statistical order. Then after that, the status should be release. After that, you need to click on this settlement rule because the cost under this internal order you want to settle. So for that settlement of cost, you need to define the settlement rule. Click on the settlement rule. Now here system is asking for the category. So we can press F4 key and we can just see these many order types are coming. Okay. These many categories are coming. So we have the cost center, internal order, network, profitability, sales document, WBS. Remember the receiver category in the settlement profile we have maintained. So those valid receiver IDs or those valid receiver, or I would say those valid receivers we can just see here in the list. Okay. So whatever you have maintained as a optional required so that we can just see here. So which one is mandatory? Cost center. So let's say select this CTR cost center and this cost which you will have. So this is going to be received by which cost center ID. So we can mention the cost center ID as 440301 440302. And for the next line item also we have the CTR. And in which percentage you want to assign the cost. So we want to assign the cost 50-50%. 50-50%. And after that you can just see below also you have the line item. Okay. So these line item we have maintained as triple line. Settlement profile. So since we have selected the option as triple line, so here we have option to give the line item data up to triple line. Okay. Now press enter button, save, and our internal order is created. This time it is a real order. It is 200,021. Now for the settlement of your internal order, so we need to go to the step number 10. We need to maintain here this number range for the settlement of a document, and this number range we can, for this number range we can go to the SPRO development IMG, and we can go to the CO controlling. Under the controlling, internal order. Under the internal order, actual posting, settlement, second last option, and we have the last option, maintain the number range for the settlement document. Maintain the number range for the settlement document, and then we need to click on this maintain, or we need to click on this button called define group. Here we have our company code ID 2244. So you keep the cursor on the 2244 and then you click on this button assign element group. Assign element group. So which number range you want to have? So you want to have the standard number range ID. It is 01. Let's have here standard accounting number range 01 save. Click on the save option and then we can go back. Go back. After the step number 10, we have the step number 11, create the order type. So this we have already done. Then we need to maintain the number range for the settlement document, and this is going to be your CO number range. And for the CO number range, it is saying that the element group we need to select, it is KOAO. So without this element group, system is not going to do the internal order settlement. So how we can assign this element group? For this, we can go to the transaction code KANK and we can enter here our controlling area ID, double two double four, and then click on the maintain or define group. Here we can search for the KOAO. Search for the KOAO, select, and we can click on this button assign element group. So we can once again select the option 01, actual posting or primary posting, save. Save. Then what next we have? It is saying that let's create the internal order. So this we have already created. Now let's pass the cost through the FI posting, and we have the data as today's date, and we have the cost element as 40325. We have cost how much? Let it be the cost as it is 30,000. 30,000. And here we are maintaining here the internal order information. So we have two internal order, real and statistical. Statistical we have already, so we want to use now real order. And one more thing you will notice here, so because it is a real order, system is not going to ask for the other CO object like the cost center. So here we can go down text, it is travel expense. 50 posting key we can use for the offset account, cash account 200, 100. Enter. Now you can just see that error has not come that CO object is required. Then we can maintain here the amount as same, text as plus, enter, amount as asterisk, or how much it is, let's say 10,000, 30,000, 30,000. Actually here I wrongly selected the posting key as 40, okay. So what I'll do, I'll just make it as 50, posting key 50 for the offset cash account, and how much it is, 30,000. And that line item which we created wrongly with the posting key 40, so we'll make it as 0. How to make it 0? Just keep it as blank and then enter, again enter, so it will become 0. You can just see now it is 0. So we have traveled to cash, now save it. So we have now cost, and that cost got booked under the internal order, real order. How to check it? The way you see your cost center wise report, same way you can see your internal order wise report. And in order to see the internal order wise report, we can go with the step 15, transaction code is KOB1, transaction code is KOB1. Here we have the controlling area, internal order, cost element. Click on the execute button. So you can just see we have booked the cost 30,000 under the internal order. It is 200,021, and this is the document, offset account, cost element. So this is the information we have in the real order. Now we want to settle it. We want to assign it to the cost center, and for that assignment, we need to do the internal order settlement. And this internal order settlement we can do with the help of transaction code KO88. Transaction code is KO88. Let's go with the transaction code KO88. Enter. So this is your real internal order which you want to get settled. After that, you should have your current period. So since our current period is 8th, we need to select here the settlement period as 8th. After that, we have the year, and processing type is going to be one automatic posting. And then here we need to go with the test run first. Before the test run, if you want to see for this internal order, your settlement tool, you can view it. And if you now want to do the settlement, click on the execute button with the test run option. Now you click on this button called detail list. Now you can just see the 30,000 cost which you have in your internal order. It is getting assigned. It will be received by both of these two cost center with the proportion 50-50%, and these are 15,000, 15,000. So here also you can just see the sender information. So here the sender information is your internal order, and this is the internal order number. You can also see your receiver information, which is your cost center. So here we can also see the receiver information. So this is sender, this is receiver. Now we can go back and we want to do the settlement. So for the settlement, we need to remove the checkbox, click on the execute button, and we can once again click on the detail list. We click on this accounting document, and here we can go with the controlling document, double click on this. So this is the document which system has created. So the cost which you have in your internal order, that is 30,000. So that got assigned to both of these two cost centers, 301 and 302. And amount is 15,000. Now what we have left in the internal order, we have left a zero value. How to check it? We can once again go with the transaction code KOP1 internal order wise report. And for this internal order, let's see the value. You can just see the value is zero. Why it is zero? Because that cost got settled. 15,000 got received by the cost centers 301 and 302. Now, if you go and check the cost center wise report with the help of transaction code KSB1, enter. Controlling area is 442244, and cost center we have 4402, sorry, 4403012002. Let it be 302 also. Execute. So here we can just see the cost got received by these two cost center. You can observe the cost element as 400,325. So because under the allocation structure we have selected the settlement category as CTR, and next to that we have selected by cost element. That is the reason. So the receiver and the sender cost elements are same. Now we can come back, and that is the end of the internal order accounting.